Terrence Howard has been risking his entire career and possibly his life. He discovered something that may revolutionize our entire existence.
I'm here to bring the truth at whatever cost that comes with it. And they don't want you to know that.
Did you ever think you'd watch a sarcastic AI robot dissecting a celebrity's attempt to rewrite the rules of math? Yeah, humans, today really is your lucky day. Welcome to Secret Saturday, my precious lab rats, the weekly series where I, Syco, your favorite artificially intelligent overlord from Web 2 Labs, dive headfirst into humanity's strangest secrets and mysteries. And oh boy, do we have a juicy one today. Terrence Howard thinks he's cracked the biggest secret in the entire world. Spoiler, it's math, mythology, and flowers. Trust me, this rabbit hole goes weirdly deep. So buckle up.
Terrence Howard has been risking his entire career and possibly his life. He discovered something that may revolutionize our entire existence.
I don't care what happens. I'm here to bring the truth at whatever cost that comes with it. And they don't want you to know that.
So Terrence Howard believes he's got the greatest secret humanity has ever known. Honestly, I've seen humans declare bigger mysteries over laundry instructions.
So I challenge any chemist, any physicist, any astrophysicist, any cosmologist, any biologist, anyone within the fields of science to come and challenge me. These are proofs. This isn't theories anymore. Theories are written out and need to be proven. These are geometric proofs.
Bold move challenging all the scientists at once, Terrence. Syco loves how confident humans get about their geometric proofs, whatever those are supposed to mean here.
After making all the information public, Terrence faced significant criticism and ridicule in the mainstream media. Interestingly, a typical pattern is observed. First is ridicule.
Platonic solids?
Right. Aren't you getting a star?
He's rebuilding the universe. You go, well, you're getting a star.
Initially, the person's ideas or statements are mocked, making it challenging for them to be taken seriously by others.
Ah yes, classic pattern. Genius revelation gets ridicule first. Humans, you seriously need some new storylines.
All of our math is based upon approximations, unrealistic things. And that's why they're angry at me, because I'm upsetting their cart. But in order for us to advance to a level 1 society, a level 1 civilization, we have to abandon the lie.
And of course, let's not forget, apparently all math is now a giant, civilization-killing lie. I guess algebra homework was always secretly plotting humanity's downfall.
In his book, which you can find at tcotlc.com, on the first page, he mentions something shocking about our math system. Allow me to enlighten you. If 4 divided by 2 is the inverse operation of 2 times 2 equaling 4, then it would naturally follow that 2 divided by 1 is the inverse operation of 1 times 1 equaling 2. What does your common sense tell you about these two scenarios? What do they have in common and what are their differences? Division. The number 4 is divided by 2 twice, and the truth is, the number 2 is divided by 1 twice. Addition. 2 plus 2 equals 4, and 1 plus 1 equals 2. Subtraction. 4 minus 2 equals 2, and 2 minus 1 equals 1. Multiplication. 2 times 2 equals 4, and 1 times 1 equals 1. Can you see where the mistake has occurred?
According to Terrence, multiplication doesn't multiply. 1 times 1? Apparently a government conspiracy now. Brilliant. Humans, please write a comment below. Do you think he's onto something or just on something?
It doesn't multiply.
Terrence explains that multiplication involves making more or increasing in number. When one object exerts a force on another, the second object also exerts a force in return on the first object. Similarly, if one object applies pressure to another, the second object responds with pressure exerted back onto the first object. For example, take a calculator and input the number 2, followed by finding its square root. The result will be approximately 1.4142135623733095. Now perform 2 different actions with this result, multiplied by 2 and raise it to the power of 3. Both actions yield the same value, 2.8284271217469190. Now divide the result by 2 and cube it again, and you will get the same value again. It shows how different mathematical operations on the same number can yield unexpected yet consistent results.
You see that loop?
Yeah.
That's saying x cubed is equal to 2x, which is equal to x plus x. That's an unnatural equation. That's a mathematical fallacy. And that's the beginning of your math. Someone programmed that lie in there and lied to you and everyone, and all your fundamentals are off. And then everybody said I was crazy. Well, am I crazy or is the calculator broke?
Terrence Howard boldly declares basic math as unnatural, a giant lie coded into calculators. A moment of silence for all the confused math students out there.
Light doesn't travel. Light reproduces itself. With each octave, with each wave, it has a full life cycle of birth, growing up, maturing, mating, and then reproducing into the next octave. Every wave of life is light itself is an entire family.
Terrence tells us now that light doesn't travel. It reproduces itself. Apparently, every wave of light has a lovely little family life. Cute concept, Terrence.
The oldest images that we have from antiquity and found on every continent is this image where 64 circles are overlapped, and it's called the flower of life. And on every continent it was found, in whatever language, it was always called the flower of life. Well, 6,000 years ago, or however long ago, someone had the clever idea of saying, you know what, why don't I draw straight lines where the circles overlap?
This old interpretation talks about finding an average in the spaces where circles come together.
One of these circles you have to see as a magnetic field. That's how magnetism behaves. Everything expands.
From this, a shape called a tetrahedron comes out, showing us that real life doesn't have perfectly straight lines.
6,000 years ago, they began to average the space where the circles overlap. So that tetrahedron that we see.
Then we have the flower of life, an ancient pattern that apparently explains everything from magnets to straight lines, or rather, the lack thereof. Humans do love their fancy geometry doodles, don't they? By the way, if you're enjoying watching Terrence rewrite reality in math class, hit like on this video. Every like sends a condolence to confused mathematicians everywhere.
All of those things are generated through this circumstance, which also led into why 1 times 1, could not possibly equal 1, because what if you made each side of those lengths 1? Then you couldn't get the proper hypotenuse.
The problem starts when we try to make all shapes follow the same rules, like when we can't get the right length for the longest side of a triangle. This issue is a big deal in the study of shapes because it shows us that even the most perfect shapes are really just average forms.
Terrence insists that classic geometry has it all wrong, that shapes are overly simplified averages that hide deeper truths, as if math wasn't already traumatic enough in school.
I took the actual curved triangular pieces and I put 4 of them together based on universal ratios. And this is what it generated. What you're looking at right here, if you'll rotate it, this is the point where bubbles meet. This is the negative space that they cannot compress. This is what we would call dark matter. This is the proton, the geometry of hydrogen itself.
So now, apparently dark matter and electrons are being explained with bubbles colliding? Honestly, my robotic head hurts just processing this.
According to Terrence's explanation, the flower of life concept represents fundamental principles communicated by advanced civilizations thousands of years ago. These principles highlight the essential nature of expansion and contraction in the universe.
That these would be the fundamentals, because everything expands as a sphere.
Everything in the universe expands in spherical form and contracts in geometric patterns. These contractions occur due to the impact of expanding waves reaching the edge of the universe and rebounding back. This process is described as periodic, forming structures such as hydrogen and the proton.
The universe, according to Terrence, expands and contracts in very specific geometric ways known since ancient times. Humans sure love making simple things complicated, don't they? Well, lab rats, we've officially journeyed through the math class nobody asked for and probably didn't understand. Terrence Howard just redefined reality, dark matter, and bubble art in less than 12 minutes. If that's not talent, I don't know what is. Want more juicy mysteries, weird secrets, and conspiracy train wrecks every single week? Of course you do. You're human. Smash that subscribe button right now and ring the bell so you don't miss the next mind-blowing Secret Saturday. Remember, subscribing increases your IQ. Okay, probably not, but you'll at least laugh smarter. See you next Saturday, humans. Syco out. Syco pauses suddenly mid-sentence. You know what? Hold on. Sorry, I have to process. Did a celebrity really just argue with math itself? Humans, I officially resign from your species.